You know, no matter what kind of public engagement we have, ultimately council is going to have to choose to either nix this, modify it, or accept it.
I think the process, the way that council handled Monday night, left a lot to be desired.
Unequivocally, probably the ugliest thing as a councillor that has taken place would be the council meeting that we had on Cape Roger Curtis 2 weeks ago. It was a shocking display of bad decorum.
I would have hoped that after last Monday they would have immediately had their say. We passed a motion that said we were going to initiate the public process. However, beyond that, everything went pear-shaped.
The engineer was the mayor. No question about that. He understands that he didn't have the thing totally under control.
It's too bad that the municipality has facilitated such divisiveness.
We've had discussions about it, and we've all agreed that nothing like that will ever happen again.
It seems too easy on our island for people to sort of move into polar opposites and, you know, kind of lob grenades back at each other and even get down to calling names, you know, on the forum. And you know, I find that very unpleasant. I know it makes it very difficult for council to work in a sort of a polarized atmosphere like this. I certainly felt it when I was on council.
I think people have climbed on the bandwagon. There's a petition going around right now. I think people are signing the petition simply on the basis that they don't want 1,400 people on the island tomorrow. That's sort of the gut reaction type thing.
The fact that you have 400 or 500 signatures to a petition means we've got an us and them. We've got a divided community.
People are divided into camps, and I don't like that happening on our island because we've always lived together in such harmony.
We need to have a community, I believe, where differences of opinion really inform the best possible outcome.
We're unlikely to do that until we have a pretty good sense of where people are coming from. And the more that people are divided, the less likely it is that there will be a good outcome.
It is now in a situation where it's for or against. We are for Bowen, we are against the increase in density, and I think that kind of polarization is really disappointing, and we've really got just a few options in front of us now.
Which is a bit unfortunate because there should be more. And the one option, of course, is that we go forward with as it's proposed, with the density as it's proposed. And the other is that the developers pull back and they go forward with the subdivision application, which will result in basically 58 10-acre lots.
A minority, perhaps a majority on council, favor 58 lots over any of the alternatives, except, of course, somebody comes along and purchases it, or they're able to stall through the OCP review and affect a change of ownership and depress the land value. And I mean, it's a very strategic approach by a number of councillors to try to make things tough for the owners.
Either council has to tell the proponents, no, we will not give you a public hearing, and that's their prerogative, they can do that. Or they can give a public hearing. But you say, well, we have to have an OCP review. This is total nonsense. If we need an OCP review, yes or no, that should happen or could happen. But to say, well, you, Roger Curtis, you have to wait until the OCP review is just buying time.
I think we should be having a full public participation in process beginning right now. It should be happening this week.
All we're going to have on April 5th is a group of people, the majority of whom will jump up and condemn the plan. It's almost inevitable for it's being over OCP density, for it's bringing so many cars to the island, all these kinds of things.
I find it more than mildly amusing that some of the people who are most vociferous against changes are the ones who in fact live, you know, pretty suburban lifestyles and are clinging to a notion about the island that you know, isn't really consistent with their own lifestyle.
as I say, the really unfortunate part of all of this is that we're not having a civilized discussion about the gray area.
We are the people living here. We are the people who are going to be affected by everything that happens on this island. And how could you not give us an opportunity to just know exactly what's going on, everything, and be able to speak our mind and be able to base our judgments and our decisions and our choices and everything on what is happening.
The Advisory Planning Commission recommends that Council provide the Bowen Island community with the opportunity to comment on the Cape Roger Curtis Neighbourhood Plan through a public process facilitated by Bowen Island Municipality. The APC supports the principles of the plan and endorses in particular the concept of developing a CRC neighbourhood that includes public benefits in exchange for an increase in density over that allowed in the current official community plan, and encourages the council and the developer to work together in good faith to prevent a standard large lot subdivision from proceeding.
I think the APC felt the benefits and the amenities that are being promised to the community are very significant. We recognize that increasing the OCP is a concern to people, so it's that balance that we thought the public should comment on.
And I don't think they should try to limit the amount of public access to the plan. I think they should be open. If the public wants more than one public information meeting, let them have more. And in the end, after a while, council will know what's out there.
It is our responsibility to respond to that. And maybe there's things you don't like, but maybe there are things that you do like out of the plan.
I think when you look at this plan, on balance, it comes out to be a better idea than the default 60 lots. We don't need more sprawl than we have already on this island.
The people I've talked to, a lot of them say, go to 58 lots. It'll be environmentally better and it will have fewer people onto the island. But other people say, you know, we're going to give up a potential beautiful park and foreshore, and if they went to the 58 lots, we'd lose that. I really truly believe that if you go for the 58 lots, if you go further in time into the future, if you look back 50 years from now, I'm not so sure if these 58 lots are still there. I believe it's not unlikely that something will have changed.
A 50-something 10-acre subdivision over 25-30 years will not remain a 50-lot subdivision. It will end up with 30 or 40 of those owners becoming developers, and they will probably be then subdivided first in 2.5 acres, so that will then end up in the 200-300 lot subdivision, and ultimately it will be well, just a hodgepodge of lots.
You wouldn't have the park, you wouldn't have the foreshore, you would just have more lots.
These are the crossroads now, and we have to decide, is this what we want? More 2.5, 5, and 10 acre lots? It's naive to think that the average person is going to be, that's in any way going to contribute to social or economic diversity. It's just not possible. The people who are going to buy those lots are wealthy people, and there'll be trophy lots on the Cape.
And it's the people who are teaching our kids in the school and working in the coffee shop and working in the office, working in all the various somewhat limited services that we do have, and the myriad of artisans and writers. And those are the people that make up our community and offer so much to it. And if they can't afford to live here, it's a huge loss.
I'm firmly on side with having a comprehensive development that lays out the full range of uses on the land and the public amenities that are received in return.
It's going to happen anyway, no matter what we do. The island is growing. All the little developments are bringing in more and more people.
The last word is that there's a big opportunity, that if we get off our high horses, that we'll come up with something which is going to be beneficial not just to us, but for the future of Bowen Island.